All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, August 31st. I have 4 MLB picks coming your way in today's video. Obviously, normally we're going to go through each and every game on the slate. I give you my lean on the side. I give you my lean on the total, but we are traveling yet again for, yes, yet another wedding. So I do have 4 plays. Honestly, more like 3 plays because 2 of the plays are just 2 different versions of the same pick. So 3 or 4 plays, depending on how you cut it up, coming your way in today's video. Rehearsal dinner last night for the wedding. Coming at you live from Hangover Central for sure. The coffee is going to fix that. But nonetheless, guys, like I mentioned, a few plays coming your way in today's video. We are on the road. For those that aren't new, exactly what I just said. Normally, we have a different version of the video, but when we do travel, we have a little bit more of a hybrid, concise version here. But yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But before we do get into the picks for today, I wanted to talk to you guys about RotoWire and their fantasy football draft kit. I talked to you guys about this a couple days ago, and this is literally everything you need to win your league. In fact, it says right there in the graphic. I didn't even plan that. This is the draft kit. It's the draft kit, guys. You have your cheat sheets, you have your sleeper picks, you have your ADP rankings, your mock draft simulators. If you have not had your fantasy football draft yet and looking for some strategy and I guess the way to win that draft, this would be your best bet. You can go over to RotoWire with that link in the pinned comment. 7 days free of trying it, so go try it for the draft kit, right? Have your draft, and guess what? They do not take your credit card or anything like that. It's literally risk-free. That link is in the pinned comment. Go ahead and try it out, guys, that fantasy football draft kit. I don't want to come in last in my league, and that starts at the draft. I want to win my league too. That starts at the draft. I'm using this draft kit. So should you. If you're in my league, don't use the draft kit. Don't use the draft kit if you're in my league. But go ahead and check it out, guys. That link is in the pinned comment. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into today's plays. I guess we can recap yesterday. Another little issue of a day yesterday. We have the big old dustpan. Now, we only had 2.5 units on the board, but man, we've had 2 reverse sweeps in 2 of the last 5 days? Not good, Ev. Tough to see that. We were all in on Jazz Chisholm Jr. He doesn't exactly get it together. And then we had the Smurfy parlay, aka 2 games under 1.5 runs in the first inning each, and that doesn't come through either. But you know what? You're going to have these days. We had so many comments yesterday of people being like, see, this is blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, it's sports betting. Like, if you don't think I'm going to own my days where I have a terrible day or I was all in on Jazz Chisholm Jr. and he goes 0 for 4, like, that's going to happen. I think it was 0 for 3. But either way, like, you're going to have those days in sports betting. So you know what? That's why we make fun of it. That's why we laugh. We have the dustpan. I don't just sulk in the sorrows here. It's sports betting, and usually after a reverse sweep, we bounce back. So hopefully that's the case. Wow, I was going to say I'm so smiling. Look at these teeth. This is good lighting. We still got more chins, more wins, though. Let's get into the plays for today. Told you, Hangover Central. You can expect anything in today's video. But play number 1 is going to be the Braves and Phillies nerfy here. I don't know what happened to the odds. It's going to be minus 114 over on FanDuel. I like the fact that we have Max Fried and Zach Wheeler on the mound. Now, if you have trepidation with, there you go, the odds are fixed. If you have trepidation with this pick, I understand it because the Braves offense is looking damn good. And all of a sudden, the Phillies, are hitting, well, I guess the Phillies have been hitting lefties well, but Max Fried is a lefty, right? So 2 offenses that can get to these pitchers, but let's give the pitchers a little bit of credit here, both of which have cashed the nerfy when starting in 3 of their last 4 starts, which we like to see. And even with the Braves starting to bat well and hit well, I still think Zach Wheeler is better than that offense, you know what I mean? So I'm giving the pitching total credit in this one. Zach Wheeler versus Max Fried. I think they pitched against one another, or at least in the same series back in March. Hit the nerfy there. The Phillies have been a nerfy team for, I want to say it's like 6 of the last 7 games. Braves 3 of the last 4. And like I mentioned, the 2 pitchers here have very good stat records in terms of pitching. Max Fried on the road and Zach Wheeler at home, nerfy-wise. So I like the nerfy in this spot, minus 114 over on FanDuel. This, I would probably play it up to like minus 130. So the fact that we're getting a decent price at minus 114, I will take that all day long. Again, Braves, Phillies on the nerfy. Just go out there and pitch 3 outs of baseball, each of you guys in the first inning, and we'd be cashing this one. We will. Comment coffee if you guys are in the same situation as me. We're up early after a long night out. We're surviving. Let's get into play number 2. So like I mentioned, we have 4 plays, but 2 of them are split into a half unit each here. We're looking at the same game here, Mariners versus Angels. I have two plays. First 5 under 5 and first 5 under 4.5. It's essentially the same thing. If we see 5 runs, though, now we do have at least half of that unit is a push, right, on the top half of it. And then, obviously, the bottom one would lose. But I like this to be a low-scoring game. We saw a super high-scoring game from these two teams yesterday. Brian Wu on the mound for the Mariners. I do trust, I do like, and it's not necessarily even a spot in which I'm backing Brian Wu or backing Tyler Anderson. I like the fact that we have Tyler Anderson, who is a decent pitcher against teams that aren't very good hitters, sure. But overall, these two offenses are not offenses that I'm all that afraid of, and we're getting good odds and good value for that under 4.5. Again, that safety net play would be under 5 just in case we need the little wiggle room there. But we saw, again, a high-scoring game yesterday from two offenses that I don't think do that 2 games in a row. Seattle against lefties in the last 30 days here, dead last in average, 5th worst WRC+, 3rd worst OPS, I think it's 6th worst ISO, and then slugging 2nd worst. You flip over to the Angels side of things against righties in the last 30 days, dead last in average, dead last in WRC+, dead last in OPS, dead last in slugging. So you have 2 really, really, really bad offenses, 2 pitchers that throw a lot of fastballs, 2 bad offenses against the fastball. So yes, I'm giving the pitching credit, but this is really a fade of the offenses. Now that I say, it's going to be like a 10 to 14 game in the first 5 innings. But I like this spot. I think these are 2 easy plays here for decent odds. Even that first 5 under 5, for minus 150, I think that should have been when I was looking at it. That's why we did it. I think it could have been like a minus 170 play, and it's like, now it's minus 150. I feel like there's value there. If you don't like the minus 150, that's too much juice for you, then roll with the minus 125 under 4.5. Again, I'm just using that under 5 as a little bit of a safety net for a push potential of a 3-2 first 5. But I don't even think it gets there. Again, these offenses are horrific compared to the hand that they're facing of the pitcher and the pitches that they throw. Fastball, fastball, fastball. And it's like neither one of these offenses is all that good. And the icing on the cake is what I mentioned already. We had a high-scoring game yesterday. I don't think that these two teams go and do that 2 days in a row. So play number 3 and 4 is going to be Mariners, Angels, first 5 under. Just 2 different numbers that we're getting it at. Try and give ourselves a little bit of a push potential, but overall, I still like it, even if you just can get the 4.5. Now moving on to play number 3. It's in that same game. Same sort of mindset, I guess, around this and surrounding it is the idea that I don't think that these offenses are all that great. And Cal Raleigh here, shout out to everyone if you guys remember months back when we were riding his under 1.5 bases for days and days and days. That's kind of where we got the king of the bases nickname for and whatnot. We're going back to it. We haven't done it in forever, but it is a fairly juiced play, but I think it's fair odds. I see this on other sportsbooks, MGM at minus 170. I think it was Caesars minus 165. So DraftKings at minus 155. I think Bet365 still has it at minus 155 as well. But I wouldn't play this into like the minus 160s. But I feel like early morning here, we're getting this at a good number. But anyways, I like the fact of his under 1.5 bases here against left-handed pitchers, which Tyler Anderson is a lefty. Raleigh's batting 164 on the season. Batting average with balls in play at 115. His extra base hit does go up from 43.5% to 60%. But overall, I like this spot. Tyler Anderson against right-handed batters on the flip side. 217 average against. He's going to see a lot of fastballs, which is a pitch that he hits really well, but then it goes changeup, cutter as his next 2 pitches, and both of those Cal Raleigh stinks against. So I'm hoping that, he doesn't just tattoo a fastball at his first at bat, that type of thing, and we cash a nice little under 1.5 bases here. It's been a while since we've rolled with an under 1.5 bases. I think Ezekiel Tovar a week ago or 2 weeks ago was our last time we rolled with, but let's do this again today, guys. Cal Raleigh, he was the one that started the king of the bases. Let's put that king of the bases crown back on this hungover head here. But that's going to be the third and final play here. So again, to recap here, play number 1 is going to be the Nerfy in the Braves and Phillies, and I'm totally trusting the pitching. A little shaking in my boots about the offenses. I get that. But Max Fried, Zach Wheeler, 2 absolute studs. Then we move on to the Mariners and Angels under in the first 5. And then play number 3, we just talked about it. Big Cal, not getting on base today, not having many hits today. Let's go and cash that. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about is our NFL Survivor contest. Let's fill that bad boy up. It's $10 to potentially win $3,000 if we fill up the contest. That link will be in the pinned comment as well. Super excited for the NFL season, college football season. We got tons and tons of content coming out for you guys, so very excited for that. And again, if this video is all over the place, we're at a wedding, having a good time, still getting the videos out. Hope you guys do appreciate that. But these videos are all about having a good time anyways, you know what I mean? If I was coming on here suit and tie, acting like, we were the best sports bettor in the world, I get why I probably shouldn't or couldn't make a video hungover, but we go 0-3 last night. I'm here to own it. We're having a good time. We're trying to give you winners, but owning when we don't, right? So hope you guys do appreciate that transparency that isn't always present in the industry. We've definitely had our run-ins with that, aka, never mind, not going to talk about it. But nonetheless, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.